Hello, so I wanted to do a quick video today talking about ornamentation, and I think ornamentation is really important, and it's a good way of really kind of developing your tune playing and getting the most out of the material that you're playing. You know, learning a tune is the first step, but then I think, you know, really important part of that is choosing the ornaments that you're going to use and really getting the most out of that melody. So I'm going to use an example today, which is Dry and Dusty, an old time tune that I play with my band Assembly Lane, and I'm going to play it once through with no ornamentation whatsoever, and then I'm going to talk about where I would put ornaments in the tune and what ornaments I would use. So here we go, I'll play it once through, no ornamentation. So there it is. So now I'm going to add in a few ornaments. So first thing that I should probably mention is that we're in G-D-A-D tuning here. So if you're kind of following along, make sure you're in G-D-A-D tuning. First phrase. So I'd add one right here. This is just a hammer on and a pull off really, really quickly. So 3 notes, 1 pick stroke. And people might call this a mordant or a roll. There's sort of several names for what this ornament is, especially in like traditional music. But the technique-wise, you're just pressing your 2nd finger down on the 3rd fret and then releasing it really quickly. And you know, timing-wise, it's essentially occupies the same space as a triplet. You could pick it with the right hand, and you essentially get a triplet, which is another ornament that you could use there. So you could use, that's a triplet. And the timing of it is quite important because if you do it really quickly, it has one effect. If you slow it down, you can get something completely different. Has a different effect. So you can decide whether you want to use that as a quick ornament or a more relaxed ornament. Both, you know, have their own uses and both can create a different effect depending on what you want to get out of the tune. So then there's this phrase. We have to shift up here, so I'm sliding up to 4th fret with my 1st finger, and then that allows me to get this 7th fret. Because we're in G-D-A-D tuning, this in standard you wouldn't have to change position, but you do here because we've tuned the E down to a D. So that's changing position to get up to that A. And then next time round, I'm doing a little bit of cross picking here down to that open D, just so that I can hit that D, and that will ring out underneath the melody that I'm playing. And then this last phrase, I'm double stopping with the D above because I think it has that really nice open effect. So, you know, all of that combined. that, you know, really develops it a little bit from the version without the ornamentation. So let's look at the B part now, and I'm immediately tempted to slide up there and double stop at the same time. So double stopping is just, you know, playing an open string or a fretted note that harmonizes with the melody note, essentially. And I'm using my open strings there, and I'm using a slide. And then here, we can either slide back down, so slide up, or slide up and then pull off from 3rd to 2nd fret, 2nd to 1st finger, and then I'm using that roll again, so that all becomes. Those rolls and those pull-offs in any combination you want. Again, pull-offs, some people might know the actual ornament on another instrument as a cut, so quite often people call that a cut. But that's the technique, and it works on 3rd or 4th fret. So even though we're in D major, we can use that F natural, which isn't actually in a D major scale, as an ornament and get away with it. If we were to try and use it a bit more explicitly in the tune, it would be jarring, it would clash. So ornaments don't necessarily have to be from your scale. You can use a note outside of the scale, because they're so brief that they're adding really more texture than they are actual kind of melody. So then let's put all that together in the B part. So if we put all that together, so we're using some of those rolls, some hammer-ons and pull-offs. That's a hammer-on, so rather than picking that phrase, I'm hammering on into it. So playing the note with my right hand, the open A, and then hammering my first finger down onto the 2nd fret. There you go. So that's a handful of ornaments that I would use in that tune. There's obviously more that I would use in other tunes. You know, I've left some out that I like to use, but for this particular tune, those are some really good ones, and they're some favourites of mine as well. I use them in pretty much everything that I play. So you can really give your tune playing a bit of a boost, and, you know, make that tune sound even more interesting, and give it some more life and some more interest. And mix them up every time you play it. Don't, I mean, by all means put ornaments in the same place every time, but you can also change where you put them. So mixing it up can give the tune some more interest as well. So kind of think about that when you're putting together a tune arrangement. If you can vary the ornaments that you're using, use them in slightly different places, sometimes that can have a big effect as well. So cheers.